now we're going to go over how to set up a second laptop as a secondary display or like a monitor. So to do that, you're going to need two laptops, and they both need to be running a current version of Windows 10. So I've got two laptops here. I've got a HP Spectre and an older Surface Pro 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to project the Surface Pro 2 screen onto the HP computer over here. And we're going to use the HP computer as our second monitor. A few things to note about this. If we go through and you follow these steps and you can't seem to get it to work, some older computers do not support this, so keep that in mind. That's actually why I'm projecting the Surface Pro to the HP over here, because the Surface Pro can send that signal to a secondary display, but it can't receive it. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So just keep that in mind. And an easy way to check that is the settings we're about to go into now. Will kind of give you an idea if your device supports this or not. So the first thing you want to do is go to the laptop that's going to be your secondary display. And what you want to do is you want to jump down to the bottom right hand corner, usually where your notifications are. And if you click on that little square thing down in the bottom right hand corner, you're going to want to make sure you expand this menu so you can see everything in here. So you can see all of those options, and what you want to click on there is the one labeled project. Okay, so if you go ahead and click on that, you're going to see a bunch of different options that pop up here, and what you want is the option at the bottom that says connect to a wireless display. So we're going to click on that, and then down here you can see all the way at the bottom it says project to this PC. So if you're at this step and you don't see this option that says project to this PC, that means your laptop does not support being used as a second wireless display. So keep that in mind. If you don't see that option, that unfortunately means you can't project a screen to this screen. Keep that in mind. So we're going to go ahead and click project to this PC, and then from here you get a bunch of different settings, right? So if you kind of zoom in here, you have a bunch of different settings here that you want to go and make sure you adjust. The first one is, it says some Windows and Android devices can project to this PC when you say it's okay. Do you want to make this available? You can have always off, always everywhere, or available everywhere on a secure network. You can do available anywhere because it will ask you, you'll see when we try to connect them, it will ask permission to connect to the display. The next option here, it says ask to project to this PC. So you can have it ask first time only. So if you're going to do this multiple times, you may just want to click first time only. Or you can have it ask permission for that other laptop to connect to this and use it as a display. You can have it ask that every time. You can also require a PIN if you want to as well. So that's how these settings set up. You can set them up kind of however you want. So you want to make sure all of that is turned on. And then down here, you can name your PC. That way you'll see when we're using the Surface Pro here, it'll make it easier to find the device we're looking for if we've gone ahead and named our PC. So all those settings are good to go, so we can just X out of the settings menu. And now, if we go ahead and head over to what we're going to be using as the main laptop here. So if we head over to the Surface Pro, we're now going to connect this display to our HP computer over there. So to do this, you're going to follow the same steps pretty much, and you're going to go to the bottom right hand corner to where you would normally go to see your notifications. So if you go ahead and click on that little square in the bottom right hand corner, again, you're going to want to expand all your options here. Once you click expand, you're going to want to go ahead and find project again. And if you go ahead and click on that, again, you'll see we get these same options. And you're going to want to go ahead and click on connect to a wireless display at the bottom here. Once you do that, you see it's going to find a list of devices. And as you can see, our Spectre computer is right at the top there. So we're going to go ahead and click on Spectre display. And if we go ahead and connect to the HP computer, you can see at the bottom, we now have a message that says, asking if we want that laptop to connect. And again, we have options here that say allow once, always allow, block once, always block. So it's up to you. Make sure you pick the one that makes the most sense. And then we're going to go ahead and click OK. And if you give it a second here, you're going to see now, using both these laptops, we've now connected this HP computer as a secondary display from this Surface. You can also see in here, I have the option selected that says allow mouse, keyboard, and touch and pen input from this device to work on the HP computer. So we want to leave that. So if we go ahead and click out of this, you can see I have this set up as a secondary display, so you can see the mouse moving from the screen on the left to the screen on the right. So it works just how we want. Now, say if it's not quite working the way it is that you see here, or maybe it's just duplicating the display or something like that, or you want to change those settings on the primary device, our Surface here, you want to head back into the notification bar, and you want to go ahead and click on project again. And from here now you have all these options that say, disconnect from the display, duplicate, extend, or make it second screen only. So I have it as extend. That way I have two monitors here, one on the left, one on the right. You can just duplicate it, and if you click on that, that means they will both just be the exact same, right? So you can see I have the same thing on the left as I do on the right. So you can set it up kind of however you want. I like to use it as an extended display. That's up to you. Or I can make it so that I just use the HP laptop, the right monitor, as the only monitor. That's up to you. Now if we want to go ahead and disconnect, we'll go to the main computer here and we'll jump in those same project settings. And then you see connect to a wireless display again down here. Go ahead, click on that. You can see we're connected to the one here, and we can go ahead and click the disconnect button. And it's going to go ahead and disconnect. And as you can see, the Surface and the HP are now disconnected and back to normal. So that's how you can go ahead and use a second Windows laptop if it supports it as a secondary display. So if you don't have an extra monitor lying around at home, or you're finding it difficult to find one, this can kind of help you if you have an extra laptop lying around, or maybe you can borrow someone else's laptop in the house. But yeah, that's how you can go and get a second display using two laptops if you need to. Hopefully that helps.